Welcome back. This is another video for the Postmaster GS stamp album page generator for Scribus, now up to version 1.4.5. This latest version is a fairly minor update just to fix a few bugs and add one new feature. And so as I've done in the past, I thought I'd do another short video to kind of demonstrate for you how this new feature works, because it's not terribly obvious on its face. In short, when we get done, it's going to give you the ability to generate something like this, an entire page full of stamp boxes all in one run with multiple rows and columns. The previous versions had given you the ability to either do single stamp boxes or sets of stamp boxes, but the sets had to be either one row or one column. So this gives you the ability to do multiple rows and columns all at the same time. And I'm going to walk through it right quick and just give you a quick guide on exactly how to make this happen. So when you open the spreadsheet up, there's going to be a couple changes to the spreadsheet. The first and most important one is now I have added a third option to the singles or set box, so that you now have the option to do a set with multiple rows and columns. That's the one you need to select to get this new feature. The other addition is, because of that addition, I had to add another option here in row 8 for the spacing on the multi-row or column. So this is spacing in millimeters between the stamp boxes in the rows and columns. Because I did add a row to this sheet, if you have existing presets, the numbers aren't going to line up. You would need to go in and add this row 8 so that the stuff would carry over. The easiest thing to do is probably just to write down your old settings and just manually re-input them in here into the presets tab. So in order to demonstrate this, what I'm going to do here is I've got it set to inside face value on the style, which is kind of the Steiner looking setup. I've got it set to multi-row and column, and I'm going to go over to, say, let's do this Allenstein set here. I've got marked as true to include the first set down to here, so that's about 14 stamps. And if you look at the heights and widths, you'll see that we've got some that are small, 9 of them, and then we've got 5 larger stamps. So what I'm going to do here is you go over to the set row column. This is a new column, and this is going to determine what row in that block of stamp boxes on the page that it's going to sit in. Now, one thing that's a little unusual, just because of the way the underlying code on this works, is the first row is actually row 0. So right now we've got 2 stamps in the first row, 3 small stamps in the second row, 4 small stamps in the third row, and then 3 large stamps in the fourth row, and 2 large stamps in the final row. And so if I was to export that out and then go run the script here, we should get exactly what I demonstrated earlier. There you go. So we've got 2 in the first row, 3, 4, another 3, and another 2, each one of them with the face value in the middle of the block. If you wanted to change this up, so we've got 9 small stamps here. What if instead of 2, 3, 4, we wanted to go 3, 3, 3? All you'd have to do is go in here, make that a 0, make that a 1. So now we've got 3 in the first row, 3 in the second row, 3 in the third row on the small stamps. Now if I go in here and run this again, oh, sorry, I neglected to export it. Let's export that out. Let's try this again. Now you get 3, 3, and 3. So it's fairly easy just by changing which row you want them on to make that work. Now it also works with some other styles of boxes. So if I went over here and said, hey, I want the catalog values in the middle, Let's go do this German New Guinea set. This is one that has 5 small stamps and 4 large stamps in the set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 4 of the small stamps on the first row. These are the ones with zeros. Now I've got them slightly out of order in the spreadsheet. You'll note that catalog number 24 is in the middle of some 21s and 22s. So I'm going to separate that one out from those 4 stamps by making it a 1 and dropping it down a line. And then with these 4 larger stamps, 2 of them are very similar in that they have an A suffix. So I'm going to put those on a row by themselves over here with a 2. And then I'm going to put these last 2 on a row by themselves by putting a set row of 3. So when I export these out and go run the script again, now I get those 4, 21, and 22 catalog numbers on one row. I get 24 on a row by itself, and then I get those 4 larger stamps in 2 rows of 2, each with a catalog number in the middle. This also works if you're doing styles that have information outside of the box. The ones we've been demonstrating there had the face value inside the rectangle, or the catalog number inside the rectangle. But if you want to do them outside, so let's say I just want a simple box that has the catalog number, and we're going to make sure that catalog number is below the box right here. And what the heck, let's make it a double box instead of a single box. So we'll go to a double frame. Yes, true. Okay, and I'm going to use the same New Guinea setup that I had earlier. Export them out and run it. So now we get double boxes with catalog numbers underneath them. So that's the latest change. Give it a try. Let me know if it works for you or not.